So back to the travels of Queen Lila and the goddess Sarasvati, who are travelling in what are called their ethereal bodies. I think we would call them astral bodies. Vasistha continued. The two ladies entered the apartment of the king like two divinities, resplendent like two moons. By their grace the king's attendants were fast asleep. As they took their seats, the king awoke and beheld them. He sat down and worshipped their lotus-like feet with flowers. Sarasvati wished that his minister should acquaint Lila with the king's ancestry. By her will, the minister awoke. When Sarasvati asked the king who he was, the minister informed the ladies that he was a descendant of the great king Ishvaku, that his father was Naborata, who when the son was 10 years old had entrusted the kingdom to him and retired to the forest to lead a spiritual life. The king's name was Vidurata. Sarasvati then blessed Vidurata by laying her hand on his head and inspired him to recollect the facts of his own previous lives. Instantly the king remembered everything and asked Sarasvati, "O goddess, how is it that though it is hardly 1 day since I died, it seems that I have lived in this body a full 70 years? And how is it that I remember all the things that happened when I was young in this lifespan?" Remember that this king Vidurata is actually the reincarnation of King Padma, who died just 1 day previously, and Padma was the husband of Lila. Sarasvati replied, "O king, at the very moment of your death and in the very place of your death, all this that you are seeing here manifested. All this is where the holy man Vasistha lived, in the village on the hill. That is his world, and in that world is the world of King Padma, and in that world of King Padma is the world that you are in. Living in it you think, these are my relations, these are my subjects, these are my ministers, these are my enemies. You think that you are ruling, you are engaged in religious rites. You think you have been fighting with your enemies and you are defeated by them. You think you are seeing us, worshipping us, and that you are receiving enlightenment from us. You think, I have overcome all sorrow and I enjoy supreme bliss. I shall be established in the realization of the Absolute. All this took no time to happen, even as in no time during a dream, a whole life's drama is enacted. In reality, you are unborn, nor do you die. You see all this, as it were, though you do not see. For when all this is not other than the infinite consciousness, who sees what?" Vidurata asked, "Then are not these my ministers independent beings? To the enlightened person there is only one infinite consciousness, and there is no notion of I am or these are." While Vasistha said this, another day came to an end. This is the question sometimes, again the challenge of solipsism is sometimes put onto this kind of teaching, of only one consciousness. So if this consciousness is only me, then what does that make of you, and so on. Well, again, let's turn to the dream for an analogy. If you're having a dream, maybe you're in the dream, maybe not. I often have dreams which I don't appear in. And who are these other people in the dreams? Who am I in the dream even? It's not as if I'm it's not as if the others in the dream are somehow inferior to me in the dream. They might even be better off. I might be a monkey in the dream, or somebody of the opposite gender. It's somewhat disconcertingly, who knows. It's not that I am I am not, my personality is no more a figment of imagination than anybody else's, no more nor less. So again, this is just one way of thinking, if we're thinking in terms of me and you, us and them, or I and that. These are categories, I am or these are, and these are categories which we go beyond, because we've gone beyond our own personality at this point. Our own personality is a construct. It's a construct of the cognitive process. It's something that gets crafted onto us through childhood and education, through inner psychology. It's not it doesn't relate to our sense of being at all. Except in the sense that it clouds our sense of being, but our sense of being has no relationship with this personality.